What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Filip Latocha, and today we're going to be talking about the road to recovery on some injuries I picked up while I was out here in Florida, how the rest of the vacation slash remote living is going to be going, and things like that. So whatever comes to mind, I'm just going to talk about it, I guess, in this video. We'll see how it goes. So before we get into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because there's going to be a lot of other cool stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. No spoilers, though, however. So, anyways, yeah, let's get into it. So I think the last thing we talked about in these entries was my injury and some of my recovery steps of how I was going to start, remediating some of the issues I had. So, first and foremost, just a background. There were a few races I did out here. I was supposed to do 3. I ended up doing 2 of them. One of them, I did not even start the race. The second race that I did, I felt like I sprained my ankle somewhere in the middle of that run and still managed to pull out a second place victory overall in that run. That being said, I've been looking into whatever was going on with my ankle a little bit more and more in terms of running on like slanted pavement, and I'm starting to think that there's some kind of overlaying perhaps like long-term ankle sprain that I've had that I've never treated in the last 2 years of running. Predominantly from using carbon plate shoes and potentially just not recovering or remediating any sort of tendon wear that I have in my right ankle. And as a result, you've probably seen some of my Tempo Next Percent videos. The shoe takes very interesting wear because of maybe perhaps the lack of strength in the tendons on the, I would say, anterior side of the foot. Again, this is just all a theory. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to a doctor to assess this. This is going to be one of my plans in Chicago, is to see if, in fact, I have a sprained ankle, if something's broken in my ankle, if I just have inflamed tendons that I just simply have to use, like, resistant bands to strengthen. That's just kind of what's going on with it. But I've seen, like, some sprained ankle pictures, and mine kind of looks similar to those pictures, except it's not bruised. I think the bruising is, like, a grade 2 or grade 3 ankle sprain. If, like, someone normal, I guess, sprains their ankle, it's probably a different story than if somebody who is more athletic and has a lot more miles on their feet and stronger slow twitch muscles, tendons, they might experience the sprain differently and maybe have a little bit more strength in that case. I digress, more or less. So that's been one of the big things I've been fighting off with, and it kind of sucks having to run indoors on a treadmill when weather is like this on a regular basis, to basically try to continue, your running fitness and just keep as little stress as possible on the ankle. That being said, I've been running with an ankle brace for, not necessarily a brace, but like a compression sock, I guess, on my right ankle for a little bit, and it's definitely been helping. The only problem is that it does begin to smell after a while, so I have to, continue washing it, or I have to get a second one just to use when I'm not working out, and then have one for workout specifics, So that's kind of how we're working with that for now. But yeah, the plan in Chicago when I get back home is to go to a foot and ankle clinic and just see what's going on. The sooner I get that remediated, the sooner I can begin, my marathon training. So that's kind of one thing. The second thing that I picked up that was a really weird injury that kind of put a damper to a few days, if not a week, on my trip, was this weird like lower rib injury I had, where it felt like I either broke the rib or something internal was kind of really messed up. So it was really bad the first couple of days, and for the longest time I thought that I was either experiencing like legit liver failure, that like my appendix blew up. What else is on that side? The kidneys didn't really hurt, so that was in the back, but it was like directly on the side here and like towards the front right abdominal area, and I thought I really messed something up. But thankfully my friends are kind of intelligent on this, and they said if I was experiencing some sort of liver failure, like my eyes would be yellow, I'd be puking, I'd be vomiting. If I had like an appendix rupture, I wouldn't be able to run or work out at all. So whatever I was experiencing was probably maybe some kind of bruising, maybe some kind of like even a fractured rib potentially. But even then, to be able to do all sorts of activities still, even though there was this discomfort on my very right side here specifically, is still kind of impressive. That either shows that whatever this injury is like really minor and not really impacting your, fitness in any sort of way, or you just have a high pain tolerance. I've previously thought that I've had a pretty high pain tolerance, especially when I was running with a broken foot and I didn't know it at the time, and just kind of remediating it and whatnot. I'd say the tolerance is pretty good, but that also is a double-edged sword in my opinion, where if you don't have a good sense of how much pain is too much pain, you might really seriously injure yourself in that kind of fashion. So it's good to be able to take a step back when something is feeling uncomfortable, and more or less just working those issues out. That being said, that's why this ankle, I've been running on a treadmill and not so much outside as often, but I've been slowly getting back into it. So on the side of the Sarasota series, I don't think I'm going to be doing any more races while I'm out here during this specific trip. But the plan is to do two things in the next, how many days am I here for? Like 3-4 more days. The plan is to do, get a load of this, a 50-mile bike ride and a half marathon, 2 separate days. So, yeah, that's how I'm dealing with my sprained ankle, is I want to run a half marathon. I want to do it as obviously a novelty, just to do it because, life is short, and why wouldn't you run a half marathon in a city you visited for a month or you've lived in for a month, right? So that's kind of the plan right now, and hopefully that half marathon, if everything goes well, will jumpstart my marathon training for Berlin, Chicago, and Tokyo 2022. So that's kind of where we're looking at with that particular stuff. In terms of making videos and stuff, I mean, like, again, the Sarasota stuff here has been, like, really casual. It's been really nice. We've had a couple of friends come over. We just had a good time. I haven't been filming a whole lot in the meantime, even though I've really wanted to. Just a lot of it was kind of just, remote work, waking up every morning, working in this time. Well, Midwest time would be 9 to 5, but out here it's like 10 to 6, whatever that time frame is, converted plus an hour ahead and whatnot. So it was just, we were busy, and this is kind of what we really wanted to do, was have a change of scenery while being able to work remotely, but also be able to enjoy our activities on the side. And overall, Sarasota, Florida has exceeded my expectations right now. It's just, it sucks that I got injured midway or like really early on during this trip, and I lost opportunities for potentially more racing, potentially more activities, more time doing dumb things like playing volleyball on the beach or hanging out with people I don't know. It kind of put a damper to things, but there's a lot of lessons learned that I've also taken from this trip overall. So definitely, if I ever come back here again, I hope it's permanent. But that being said, there's still a huge world to explore out here in the more or less, Europe, the United States, things like that. But there's definitely going to be a trip like this, hopefully with the same party that I have, because I really like traveling with my brother and my buddy Carl out here. If we bring like another person with, that'd be pretty good to like lighten the load of rent costs and things like that. But remote work for a month and a half in a place that you kind of have been to before is a really great way to experience things in the middle of this like lockdown world where cities have been pulling in new people and things like that. So yeah, this place definitely for sure super lax about masks being open, just being cautious about things. So this is one of those like last bastion of freedoms, in my opinion, of places you can go to in the United States, and essentially, you're not going to get like thrown over the coals for not wearing a mask or for just going outside and enjoying yourself. I think that's something that is very strange to say, that what used to be a norm is weird in a weird way out here, because like everyone's just normal, not everyone is wearing a mask and whatnot. But okay, not gonna get too crazy about that. But yeah, Sarasota, you are awesome. Basically, I think there'll be a couple of other videos that I'll be filming while I'm out here, and they'll be probably released on like later dates. Maybe I'll film my 50-mile bike ride. Maybe I'll get my half marathon filmed. It'd be pretty sick if I could. It'll be great content and kind of show you how my recovery process is going. But overall, yeah, we're gonna see what happens. But this is pretty much my last weekend here in Florida before I have to return home, and I'm really dreading returning home. So I guess that's all I got for now. Hopefully this was a fun update. I don't know, just kind of wanted to get that off my chest, that things are going okay. I definitely have a lot of things to look forward to recovering before the marathon training starts. And if the marathon training and the season is a go and nothing locks down, then I hope this is the year I run my Boston qualifier, if not better, moving forward. So that's all I've got for now. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys real soon.